Welcome to today's collective reading. This is TrinityGaiaOracle. As you can see, I've got a couple of cards pulled now. Now this one in particular, just setting up, it did some acrobatics coming out of the deck. So that was very clearly something that was desired for the message for today. And I did pull two power animal cards here. So we have the panther and the scarab. And there's just so much symbolism in here. I could probably do the reading with just these three cards because there's so much layers here for you guys. And this is definitely going to be for the collective that resonates with the last two readings I did. So if anything in this sparks for you, resonates, feel free to check them out. I mean, maybe all you need to do is read the title, but maybe there's some synchronicities deeper within those readings for you guys. So, as you can tell from this image here, there was quite a bit of, that's an atomic plume cloud. Oh my gosh, I can't word. That's an atomic plume cloud in the background. You guys have been going through different dimensions, different timelines. You've been working with beings from many, many different layers and aspects to reality beyond what we can really fully conceive of. We may understand that there's something awesome and beautiful and amazing there, but we don't necessarily have the language for it in our own culture to fully conceptualize it. However, you, especially the readings that came through this weekend, whatever you were going into, those readings, there was so much resistance to me putting them out. As you could tell from listening to the first few minutes, there was every intention of it being a visual like this. Every intention. Well, the focus was off. It was like I set it to a setting and then it showed up like it was zoomed in more, so you didn't get to see half of what I was talking about. So in the reading, I'm indicating this on the card and that on the card, and I'm actually showing it to you. But the camera is not picking it up because it's zoomed in too far, which was not the setting I had it on at all. It was very weird. And then just all these odd things with not only my internet in my home, but also my cell phone. It was like I was, as a reader, being challenged. And I'm knowing that this is somewhat of a synchronicity for you guys. If you haven't experienced this yet, you may experience it in your future. You may be going through it right now. But whenever you encounter this, yes, there are times when those resistances are, hey, don't do this right now. But that is not at all what my intuition was telling me. My intuition was telling me that there was such empowering messages for people that were just kind of stuck in this state of not really understanding how to break free of it. Because you kind of have to make some sense of it in order to go, oh, okay, all right. And, as I said coming into this, there's so much we don't even have a language for. So those that wanted to keep this collective in a state of unempowerment did not want that message out. And there were so many other unique personal synchronicities that told me I was right where I was supposed to be doing exactly what I was meant to be doing, which was, what are you willing to do to make sure that the messages you have been given, you have been trusted to make sure are channeled for the collective and delivered in time will be? And it reminded me, this experience, it reminded me of the beauty in people around me, that the divine, that love works through, that you're not alone in this. Yeah, they may not fully understand what you're going through, but there's a divine aspect within them that does. even if they do not consciously understand. It is an affirmation that you're supported, even if this human being could not handle your truth, more than likely. You can still see the love in them, guiding them, supporting them, and being that light, echoing your light back to you. So, oh, I just hit the mic again. I'm used to this. Okay, you guys probably heard that. When I do readings, I sit on an exercise ball. It helps to keep the spine in alignment and keeps that spinal fluid flowing. Time synchronicity, number synchronicity, interesting time synchronicity. 10-10. This may be an important thing for some of you. For some of you in the collective, my gosh, I feel like I have like 5 or 10 different people trying to talk through me at once. Okay, do a little grounding, stop the feet a little bit. All right, guys. So grounding may be very, very important, and working with balance in the spine. It's like if you ever have played Jenga, it's similar to that. All of those little aspects of the spine. And the exercise ball helps to keep all those little bits and pieces in between each vertebra, a little more supple, helps them have a little more blood flow. I have quite the history with this, so I could really dive into it, but that's not, really where I'm meant to dive deep. So definitely do not take this as medical advice. I'm not an expert in this, but I have personal experience, and that's why it's come out. So definitely, consult with your doctor if it's something that you think might be helpful. Get some insight from them, and yeah. So, okay, taking care of 3D legality stuff. Do keep in mind that everything that I say, even that, is going to reach someone in the collective. It is a synchronicity. It's not coincidence. So the Panther, I do want to kind of bring that up here for you guys so you can kind of read it, because it speaks to kind of shamanic practices throughout the world. This deck does. It's not just one continent, it's all of humanity. So symbolism, magic, darkness, death. It's also a symbol of rebirth. We have a scarab, regeneration. And what I do know of the Egyptians is that they believed that the scarab would move the sun across the sky. All ancient human beings that, we have record of, they all understood that the sun was the giver of life. The incredible importance that it played in our everything, all the cycles of everything around us. It was incredibly important in that. The balance of the masculine, feminine within self, the lotus, the awakening, the connection of that is above and grounding it into Mother Earth. This collective, you guys are definitely healers, and right now, you're getting to experience the contrast of where you were, before this particular awakening or battle or realization of your own power, of what it is when you're heard, what happens when you speak and you're heard, because you're completely surrounded. It's not saying you're not going to still be keeping those skills honed, but it is saying that you get to have those skills, yes, but you get to indulge in challenging yourself to move into a state of being that soft space for yourself to retreat to go to lay down that assertive aspect of you that just went through all it did to get to this moment, and now you just get to exhale and sigh and be that safe space to let your own energy your own burden kind of be put down for a little bit. Be that a hot bath, soaking in some Epsom salts, some essential oils, a hike in the woods, a good workout. Maybe it's soaking your feet and doing a mani-pedi. It's meditation, whatever this thing is that others may see it as you taking time for you and you just being really selfish. The truth is if you do these things, you are feeding yourself. You are giving energy to yourself. You are assertive in your masculine energy and making it a priority. But you are doing that so that that energy can actually become receptive and feminine. You're not exhausting one or the other. You're allowing the flow back and forth, the cooperation within yourself, so that you can be that offer. All of you, balanced. You may be more in assertive energy when you're at work versus when you're at home. You may be more receptive, and just flip the script. It's like you wear a different cap when you're at work because you have different expectations. You have a different relationship with your mother or your father or your siblings or your children or your partner. You have different dynamics present, and they all pull on this masculine, feminine biplay, within yourself. It's the back and forth. It's moving with that flow. It's not rejecting one or the other because they actually strengthen one another when you allow that to be in a state of flow. There is a reading, I think it was Cashen. He was one of the I want to say individuals, but he was one of the gods in the Divine Masculine Healing Oracle deck. And he was the god of abundance. I mean, the guy had money stitched into his garb. And his secret was knowing how to be completely receptive to getting that abundance. He knew the secret was to be receptive. And yet there he is, being a masculine, very male, divine being, divine God in this, with the mythology. So if that's a synchronicity for you, if that's something that maybe, you find like, wait, how does that work? There might be something in that reading for you that can kind of help that kind of click over. So let's pull some tarot for you guys. Let's see what's going on a little more in the micro. So we've got some really, really beautiful overarching energy for the collective. Yeah, there's no way you're going through this alone. There's a lot of energy here. A lot. I feel like this reading, like I'm tapping into a larger population of, a larger population. Interesting. So that's a synchronicity with leveling up. You've upgraded. You'll see that too with readers as they go through and they evolve and they grow and they move through their own evolution. You'll be able to mark time with their videos when it's possible around a certain spot where they themselves leveled up because of the messages that were needed to come through them, or they leveled up and then the messages were capable to come through them. Healers as well, like it's not just going to be about tarot readers. Okay, so those two came out together. So you have the Page of Swords and the Ace of Swords. What? Okay. Very to the point. It's really coming to me with this is you have an adolescent girl with the page and a grown feminine with the, okay, that totally flipped, yet I have no idea which one it was. It did like a full circle. Synchronicity, full circle. This is the same girl. Same girl. Excuse me here. I'm going to actually move that mic. It seems to be more in the way. One moment. I'll just pause here. Okay, we'll see if that's a little bit better. Every time I shuffle, I don't want you guys to hear me bumping the darn thing. So, anyway, this is full circle. This right here is full circle. Same girl. She has mastered the learning of the truth. The truth is a double-edged sword. It really is. It can heal and it can harm. And it can do predominantly one or the other, but it always does both to some extent, because the truth will dispel illusion. And it's painful when it's illusion that you believe to be truth. However, it always sets you free from that illusion to move into what really is true, allowing you to build a firm foundation upon what's actually going to be immovable. The Ace of Swords here, like, this is an anointing of this truth. This is the divine basically saying, yes, we are connected. This is connected. You have understood, and I am working with you. Your truth is connected to all the truths. The concept that, yes, we're each unique individual beings, but we're all connected to one another. We're all connected to one another. Even if we don't see it in the micro level, the truth is, money itself, it is not evil. It's what people do with money that makes it evil. That being said, money is the most basic way of seeing exactly how we are all connected. There is a global economy. That is the most basic way of seeing, yes, in a very logical, grounded sense, we are all connected. But this level of reading is far beyond something so... I'm hearing archaic. Huh. Okay. So like ancient, to some degree outdated. Like it's... There's definitely some beings here that are like, we don't do money. We don't do money. We don't understand why you guys are still doing money. It's interesting. It's like, if you lived in a society that was more about, bartering, the concept of money would possibly seem a little like, well, this doesn't really get me anywhere, if that was all you knew. So it might encourage you to have, oh, no, it's not an encouragement. Some of the individuals tuning in here, you are finding yourselves relying more on like a bartering. I'll do this. Like, say, you'll give them a dozen eggs a week. And they give you some of their beef or their goat's milk or something, right? Either way, this truth is something that you have earned the acknowledgement in. Coming full cycle. Yet again, another synchronicity. The interesting thing here is this King of Pentacles. I want to read a little more into this. This is a more assertive energy, looking for the feminine. You see, he's looking to his left. Like, where's my queen? Okay, Seven of Swords. Now, in this particular deck, I mean, yes, the traditional meaning of the Seven of Swords are, the lies that we tell ourselves or we allow others to tell us, but this is a storyteller. A good storyteller knows how to embellish the story to entertain. This is what they did before we had things like the internet. Like, I'm getting, like Geralt of Riviera, Why is that coming to mind? And The Witcher. There we go. I'm getting like the Witcher kind of thing. Maybe like a little bit of the Lord of the Rings, where they were celebrating, and it was the Shire's beginning, the very beginning, when Gandalf came in with the fireworks, and they were just partying and having fun. So it's the stories we tell ourselves. Where do we embellish and where do we tell truth? Where do we emphasize and where do we gloss over? Oh, Nine of Cups. Okay, that's poignant. So my in particular question was, what was causing this weight? So this is an energy outside of you, very clearly, but know that it's going to be mirrored within you. So see yourself in it first, and then expand it out there from there, because you'll understand more clearly what's going on outside of you if you understand how it moves within yourself first. I know it sounds rather egocentric, but really you're your own best barometer. Like you know people that have arthritis, they're like, oh, the storm's coming, and yet the sky is clear. Their body tells them when the pressure changes. They feel it. So start with you and then expand out from there. This energy is more masculine, more from a space of will, pushing out your will, acting, giving to what you're manifesting is a counterpart. Someone that can offer that full pentacle, the balanced self that you guys have just achieved. And they've been watching. And you've been observing yourself go through this as well, because this is something that you have chosen because you want to be on the other side of it, knowing yourself more fully for having gone through everything that you guys have gone through. So you've been observing yourself as well as an energy outside of you that you have a soul contract with. Could be groups too, people that you're meant to work closely with, and they'll be in your life for quite some time as a result of the work you've done. They've been watching you tell your story, learn your story, flip it over, invert it, move a couple things around. You have been thoroughly investigating yourself. And how you choose to tell your story, you know it has an impact on those that are listening. And you have a lot around you that want and need your truth that you are going to be working with. Thus, saying that it's a group of individuals that have been observing this. These are all individuals that have soul contracts with you. They need your truth. They need your story to understand themselves better. Because you have been meant to be that. You hold pieces of their truth within you that they can't fully unlock until you share them. And vice versa. Any performer, especially comedians, nowadays, they're basically our modern day storytellers. They'll tell you the audience plays a very important role in their performance. They'll tell you that it's basically a conversation between them and the audience. And I'm not saying like, hey, yeah, go on and heckle. No, it's about the feel of the energy, the reaction, the level of laugh, the kind of laugh in the room. All of that. And the aura of performers is, it's typically red from what I've heard. That a lot of people will see an artist's aura as red. So their energy being, their body, their energetic anatomy has adapted to be the focal point for all of that focus. So they're very in tune with their audience, and it's a co-creation. You have been learning this story. Like you're a comedian, you've been learning your act. The thing is, when it's the story of you, the story of your life, it's not like it's a collection of a couple of like a 1 or 2 hour special. It is, however old you are, it's your entire story. And you may be doing this for the rest of your life because that's a lot of story. That's a lot of wisdom. 1 hour would not cover it all in depth to reach each and every individual. You may be in this space teaching for a long time, healing them through the words, the truth in your voice. The truth that you know is you are all that you are, and everything that has been brought before you, that you've overcome, that you have yet to overcome. Every beautiful moment, like literally your dharma is like the lexicon, the Rosetta Stone for the divine to speak to the divines within each of these people that you have contracts with. You're the Rosetta Stone. That is so the title. But you're like the Rosetta Stone for the soul. And your story is like the written inscription language. And the divine gives it life. Divine moves through it. And when I say divine, I mean love. People, like, we overcomplicate things. When it really comes down to it, it's about love. The Nine of Cups here. He, I'm going to say that because of the image here. This energy within you and outside of you, they have been waiting, watching, and anticipating you being on the cusp of your 10 of Cups. This is you in the Nine of Cups. You are starting the day that you have your 10 of Cups. Now, the question I asked in my head very shortly, and these both came out, and it was just very on top of each other, was, what was the theme of this? Healing. Healing. Four of Swords. Regenerating. Letting go of what no longer serves you, and allowing the light to come to aspects within you, and Mother Nature, Gaia, to nurture that, for you to be able to know yourself what you do want. And the 10 of Swords. This is truth, truth, truth. There's truth, so much truth. We have 1 pentacle and 1 cup so far here. To bring in that beginning. Death is not the end, it is a new beginning. Yeah, Panther, death, darkness, magic, alchemy. You've been alchemizing yourself through knowing this process. You're starting the day as a 9 of Cups. There's going to be a cup offered, and you'll be in your 10. But they will also need to be in 9 of Cup energy. The concept, though, is that this energy within you and outside of you has been observing, learning with you, and has been waiting with you. You have been anticipating this. No one was sitting there waiting for like an indefinite amount of time. No, you're in tandem. You're in alignment for this, as well as this. Now do know that this definitely, the genders could be reversed. There's really, like, literal physical gender. No. It's not going to be linked to that at all. It's not. Because I have inner masculine energy as well as feminine energy, and I value both. But I know physically I'm female. And having the ability to be an assertive energy as well as feminine energy doesn't diminish my femaleness. It means that I'm able to offer myself as all of me to whatever I choose to give to. Choose your will. what you choose with your will to give to. You give that balance of yourself. Now I'm going to do the top and the bottom of the deck here, which is poignant because it's Page of Wands. You're connected with your future higher self. Both of that. Like, this is an aspect of you that you won't question because it'll be too true. Like, you'll feel the divine, the love within it. It's not a false light. Like, I can't express to you in words other than instinctively, nothing else would compare. It would be laughable. The false light in comparison to the oversoul of you, the higher self of you, the false light is no. Can't hold a candle to it. You'll know. There won't be question, in other words. Because, yeah. The bottom, we have the sun. So we have sun, the day is rising, so you'll be like the sun is coming up, the cycles. This is about generations to come. It's about not only your own happiness, but the happiness of the future generations. And what's interesting is the first time it's really popped out to me. I don't know if you guys can see it here. I'm going to try to get it. I don't know if you can see. In the sun, it looks like there's a feminine form. Like she's in a big, flowy dress. She's got her arms out to the side and her hair is kind of coming down around in front on either side. Wow. Ever there was like a beautiful synchrony there, or synchronization, synchrony. Interesting. Because the sun is typically seen as masculine, yet there's a feminine form in it. Balance, a balanced, harmonious future. Not one where you value masculine energy or feminine energy above the other. If we're really moving into a new time and a new age, it was not going to be about one-upping either. It'll be about valuing how incredibly potent and powerful both being balanced is for creating a world that is better for everybody. Everybody in that light, love, is all that matters. All of it boils down to love. All of it. Now I'm just going to quickly see if there's anything here that they want me to grab from the assertive deck here. This is more predominantly the feminine, but man, there's just so much, or the receptive, what you are to be a little more open to, what you've been open to. My time reading the this deck that I've just pulled from here had more of a feminine feel to it. Oh, okay, that popped. Okay, there's 3 of them there. This deck, the cards, they tend to stick to one another, so I tend to read them a little more in conversation. Yes, you can see them. Okay. So, we have the 6 of Wands. This one is like the Arnold Schwarzenegger, like Mr. Universe card, if you can see that there. It's very like bodybuilder, right? Oh, interesting. My voice changed drastically there. Huh. This card came out too in the last reading. The Hermit. This was the divine reaching down and claiming you. Going, this is my child, and I'm going to back them up. I'm going to help them out. Like, it's time. You're ready. This darkness does not get to take you. And, I mean, it's over the devil. So it's like, nope, the devil does not get to take this. You have victory over the devil, and it's divinely guided. It's divinely, like, divine's intervened. Do we have anything else we would like to speak here? Okay, so we have the Page of Cups in the reverse, and then we have a Page of Swords. Ooh. Okay. This has been an undercurrent. This has been an undercurrent. You have deep, vulnerable energy, emotion, feeling. Like it's a part of you that you've never given to anybody. They've just never inspired you to feel that deeply. And when you encounter someone who has, which is very clear because there's an association here with this individual that does inspire this, and it causes you to want to defend. No, don't make me feel vulnerable. I don't know what's going on exactly in each of your situations that's causing this defense mechanism to kick in, but one, I want to say it's completely normal and natural, and at times it's been the difference between being okay tomorrow and not being okay tomorrow. So this is a defense instinct to cover this vulnerability. It's almost like it was love at first sight kind of a vibe. That's pretty intimidating. I'm not gonna lie. Love at first sight is like your whole world just shifted and you don't really know this person, and yet they just made your whole world shift. And you maybe think they don't have a clue, which makes you feel all the more like, what am I doing? You know that that's how you feel. So you're like defensive and protective of it, yet you can't deny the truth that it is what it is. Okay. What do you want us to do with this? What is this here? How do you want the collective? Oh boy, that was interesting. Did my mind just okay. I thought I had one that was upright in the deck. Interesting. Things are not as they seem, was what that was about. Things are not as they seem. So however you think things may be in this moment, you've learned to know that things are not always as they present to be. So you've been reserving judgment. You've been working from benefit of the doubt. Okay, if we do not get another pairing here, I'm going to take this to another reading. Do a little more in depth with that. Okay, that was odd. Okay, the 9 of Spears. Ooh, that was acrobatic. Okay. So notice they're both looking. 9 of Spears, this is anchoring. Yes, I know there's the traditional way of reading this. However, I'm working with layers of energy that are beyond just traditional. I have to take into account everything, all of it, not just this card. This is an anchoring in to the physical, bringing this into the physical reality. With this High Priestess in the inverse, though, what I'm getting from this is it's bringing in this High Priest energy into the physical. It's been watching, waiting to see. So this is more like the feminine aspect to the Magician. Like the High Priest and the High Priestess are more of that. And the 6 of Cups. How are you? How are you in the feminine predominant? What are you receptive to? Manifesting into the physical that is going to be not just from your past, but how much are you open to experiencing what is new? Which is pulling in this with the Empress of pleasure. What will shift this dynamic for this energy is how you tell your story around your You're suffering. You're suffering through this. How rigid have you been to holding on to what once was, that you're not making space for what is? The balance between those two. Allowing change through releasing the fear of what is coming, right? Of what are you losing? You're not losing anything. You're gaining your future. So it's not throwing out what you knew of this individual. It's not throwing it out. What are you willing to allow to express in your story that says that they're not locked into a rigid presentation and nothing else? Relating it to you, things that you once used to do to help yourself cope before overcoming these challenges that made you feel beautiful and confident and at ease and at one and fully present in the moment. Maybe some of those things have shifted. Maybe there are new facets in your life. Maybe you're going to be creating with new people. How open are you to remaining true to you and yet also be willing to add in new concepts, new energies, new intuition, new ties with individuals? Because whatever you're doing, you're going to be a part of a community. So what are you willing to anchor in? What are you receptive to experiencing in the manifestation that allows for adaptability and flexibility within those around you, yet is still familiar to the person that you know yourself to be? It's kind of interesting timing there. Yeah, my phone's battery died, so kind of pulling this reading to a close. We did have the top of the deck is the Four of Cups, and the bottom is the Nine of Swords. So what we have here is you are getting to discover who you are over the horizon. You're anticipating this emotional experience of you, this intuitive experience of you, and you're not under 9 swords of illusion. You're floating above 9 truths. So I may do a deeper read into this if Divine calls me to do so. If not, either way, if I'm meant to, it'll come out in the next reading. The divine within me honors the divine within you. The love within me honors the love within you. Namaste.